Player 1 cuts the deck there. And deals 7 cards to each player to begin the game. Player 1 got at least 1 purple in there. Player 1 goes first, draws 2. So ramparts on the defense, strong defense start, and a capture on the defense. And then plays an army card. Player 2 draws 2. And adding straight into the defense there. 3 in the defense pile. Back over to player 1. Cheval in the defense. Enlist 2 more cards. And another army card goes down. Over to player 2. Player 2 taking his time here. Plays 1 army card, 2 army cards, both of which player 1 would like to get his hands on, I'm sure. And a 3rd over to player 1, draws 2. And puts the barricade straight down in the defense, followed by a ballista in the defense. And lastly, an attack on player 2. Player 2's got it covered from his defense pile and draws 2. And plays a Spartan card down there. Spartan army. Followed by a capture. Let's hope he doesn't get that purple. And he hasn't. And as a battle trade from player 2, trying to complete that Ottoman army. Player 1 draws 2. Barricade in the defense. Thinking about it. And plays capture back on him. Almost got that purple there, not quite. And plays a battle trade as well, to take back that green. Player 2 draws 2. Ramparts on the defense there. And plays a battle trade again. That green is going back and forth. Player 1 draws 2. Straight away with the attack, 100 damage. And he had the right card for it. Player 1 was probably hoping he would have to sacrifice his ramparts, or similar. And then a 250 attack. Unfortunate for player 2 there, he has had to sacrifice the ramparts. That was a strategic play there. Enlists 2 more, and then over to player 2. Looks like player 2 got a purple out of that draw. And he plays the draft card, draws 3. Seize and plunder. Completes that green army at last. And attacks straight away with it. Player 1 should have enough defense to cover that. And player 1 draws 2 cards. Straight down with the barricade. And starts working on that red army. Player 2 puts the capture down in defense there. Then enlists 2 more cards. Then a 400 damage attack. Player 1's defense pile starting to look a bit thin now, so he adds to it. Drafts 3 more cards. And then just attacks for 100 damage. Player 2's definitely got enough defense to cover that. Cheval in the defenses. Starts working on another army. Player 2 is piling on the army cards there. Player 1 is lagging behind. And he attacks again with that green army. It's a fair amount of damage, even without the siege weapons. The rampart should cover that. And player 2 checking the cards there, seeing how many were played. Player 1 draws 2 and attacks with 250. Cheval covers that. And player 1 building up his own defense pile again there, recovering from those attacks. And he plays the Spartan wild card. Player 2 would be probably keen to get his hands on that. Player 2 draws 2. Barricade on the defense. And yet, right enough, has stolen that Spartan wild card. As expected. Enlists 2 more cards. Over to player 1. I think he got a purple out of that draw. Thinking about it carefully. And plays it. It's a revolution. Takes the green army away from player 2. Player 2 has already attacked a couple of times with it. Player 1 is not likely to have many attack cards for that army. but he has invested a siege weapon in it. Not sure if that was a good decision. Player 2 enlists 2 more cards. Plays a barricade. And a bit more on defense there. No, he's going to attack with it. And discarding that enlist card there at the end of his turn. Player 1 thinking carefully and adding another siege weapon, another 2 siege weapons. So the green army is complete with all 3 siege weapons on it now. I think the most likely attack he could play is a raid card, if he can get it. Player 2 attacking player 1, perhaps hoping to beat him down before that attack comes off. And another attack, quite a desperate attack with only 2 Spartan cards. And a final attack. He is really trying to get through that defense. And it seems like he has done. That's unfortunate. 1 siege weapon down, the trebuchet is lost. Player 1 draws 2. Checking the damage on those cards. That is not a good sign for player 2. And it's an attack card. That is a fair amount of damage. Full army, plus a ballista, plus a battering ram. Player 2 having none of it, retreats from that. Player 1 just bolsters the defense there. Might be worth noting the artwork may have changed since this first edition. Retreat card especially. And it's player 2 with the raid. Double damage raid. With a relatively weak army. But he cannot play the double damage because he has already played his hand. So player 1 is forced to give up his defense pile and his ballista from the green army. So far player 1 has been unable to use that powerful army, and it's slowly been whittled down by player 2. Capture. This could be interesting. Almost the purple there. I'm sure player 1 was trying to keep his eye on where that double damage card went back into the hand. Just missed it. Capture card by player 1 again. He's going for it again. Oh, he almost had it. He's got it. He knew it was there. Over to player 2. Straight in with the attack. Player 1 has got no defense. He is wide open. Loses his 2 Gurkhas. for starters. Player 2 would be wise to strike while the iron's hot, and he has done. Another raid. That's the battering ram gone. The table's beginning to turn here. Player 1 has lost his siege weapons and was unable to use them against player 2. Seasoned Plunder takes a Spartan card. Again, I'm not sure that was the best move, considering player 2 has already used up all his Spartan attacks. Player 2 with straight in with the Trojan army, and then straight in attacking with that Trojan army. And player 1 retreats from it anyway. I'm not sure if that was the best use of a retreat card, but I don't think he had much choice with no defense. Building those Centurions up. And a battle trade. Is he going to steal the last Centurion he needs? Okay, 2 complete armies. Player 1 seems to be getting somewhere, but really needs to beef up that defense pile. Double damage on the defense. It's an unusual play. But he needs that defense. And over to player 1. Thinking carefully. Gurkha army down. And a Trojan army down. And lastly, Spartan army down. Player 1 seems to have quite a few army cards out there for a player with only 1 defense card. Very risky. And it's a revolution play. Player 1 must be wishing he still had that retreat card. Player 2 takes the Centurions away from him. And one more on the Spartan side. And he's got the wild card, so he completes that Spartan army as well as the Centurions. It's neck and neck here, it keeps going back and forth. Over to player 1 now. Player 2 is certainly closer to victory now. Player 1 seemingly just getting as many army cards down on the table as possible. Trying to beat player 2 to the victory. Over to player 2. And a 100 attack. That is annoying for player 1. It's up to him what he sacrifices. That is very unfortunate. Looks like he's going to give up two army cards. 1 Spartan card, knowing that player 2 has limited use for that. That is not a bad move. battering ram down there on the Spartan army. And that's the end of the deck. I need to shuffle it for the next draw. Player 1 does a quick shuffle there. And another. And takes that second draw. And attacks for 100. Another Gurkha down. Player 2 telling player 1 to sort his cards out there. Get them in line. Thinking very carefully about that play. Seize and plunder. Takes a Gurkha. So he's trying to complete that Gurkha army. Obviously just trying to get the win in there as quickly as possible. It's just a race now to have 4 armies. Theoretically, player 1 only needs 3 cards. 1 Commando, 1 Gurkha, 1 Trojan, and he would win. But player 2 has attacked too quickly there. That is a strong attack. Full Spartan army plus a battering ram. That is more than player 1 has in the defense pile, that's for sure. It's about 1100 damage, and player 1 only had 500 on the defense pile. I don't think there's much getting out of this one. One, two, three, four armies. It's a win for player 2.